Study.
All right. Welcome, everyone. This is the T.W.B. episode 3 for the podcast, as well as on YouTube and Instagram. So, today we have a special guest, the GOAT himself, the Going God, on episode 3. We finally got features, y'all, so we going in crazy. We're going to be talking about a variety of topics, so, get some popcorn, get ready, because this is about to be a movie, all right? So, without further ado, I'm going to give the mic over to my bro, Chris. We're going to get this started.
Full fact. Welcome back, everybody. You know me, it's Desir That Chris. It's your favorite fire starter. Always gotta go up. Gotta get the conversations talking. Gotta get people started. Gotta get the building and the movement going. Today, we're supposed to have 4 guests on. Maybe our 4th guest is gonna join sometime soon. My man Naga. But right now, we got the Going God. This man right here, me and him are about to chat it up. We're about to just go in right now. Y'all about to get some knowledge like you've never seen before. But now I done the intro, I'm gonna let the Going Guy introduce himself and what he about.
Nah, you already, man. What's going on, family? You already know. Y'all should already know what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I'm about peace, positivity, having fun, and a level up.
That's right.
You feel me? I don't know if y'all... You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give a quick summary for myself, for your followers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, they call me Going. Got that name actually from being a musician, and also, you know what I'm saying, just also now that I actually think about it and I sit down and meditate, it's all spiritual too. You know, everything is not for coincidence in here. So, you know what I'm saying, pay attention to y'all names too. That's a great thing. But you know what I'm saying, I come from Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying, came to the US at a young age, and you know, me being from, I was telling a story to my people the other day. Matter of fact, me being born and kind of raised in Jamaica, I see a different frequency from when I came here. So that's what kind of really made me be the spiritual being, and even just knowing, you know, just being aware. I'm gonna say being just conscious. That played a huge part. Cause you know what I'm saying, just knowing who I am played a huge part, because when I came here, it was just a whole total frequency. Like, I just seen a whole different, you know what I'm saying, just a different, especially when it comes to melanated people, and how that really woke me up to see how great we was. Just leave it there, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know what I mean, y'all should get the story, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got to go through the you know, the battles, the scars, in order to be great. So, and that's, now we here, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Just sum it up like that. Y'all want to know more, get the book.
Hey, that's right. That's powerful. That's powerful. I'm glad he said that, because most people don't realize you got to go through the struggles to get to the good stuff, man. It's not just some straight path. You got to fall and get back up and fall. And I respect this man so much, because he's fallen so much and he's risen so much. So he rises to the occasion every time. He's also teaching me so much about so many different things. So I just have so much respect for him. I'm glad he's even on the episode of T.W.B. right now. This is honestly an honor for him to be on here.
No doubt,
so,
no doubt. I'm honored too, because I learned too, man. I'm a student too, so I'm learning from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Yeah. And this call, we're gonna try to keep it light today. Usually on this call, me and Naga notice right now, it's called Together We Build. And that's exactly what it sounds like. Together, we building each other up. We learning from one another. We trying to get something going. And it's like, on this call, we're going to try to keep it light. It may get a little bit crazy, depending on how the flow goes. Whatever the energy wants us to say, we're going to say it. We're not here to hold nothing back. We're not here to trick nobody. If it got to come out and somebody needs to hear it, somebody's got to hear it. That's my motto. That's my mentality. If something of the truth comes out of me, I got to say it. But to start it off real light, our main topic usually we have on this call is going to be like self-mastery, like what people should be doing to understand themselves, connect themselves with the universe, connect themselves on a higher plane, just so they have a better grasp on reality, on their feelings, on their emotions, on their mentality, their mental state. Because a lot of people, if you don't have a sense of who you are, or you don't have a purpose, you're going to get into a lot of drug addictions. You're going to get a lot of anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder. These are all things I had at one point in my life, because I didn't know who I was and what I wanted to do. And it's like, when I started to find myself, I started to stray away from what society's trying to tell me. I started to stray away and go my own path, and it was hard growing up with parents that were also born in the Caribbean. My parents from Haiti, so they always went go to school, get a degree, do all that. They still on my case about it to this day. But it's like I had to break away from where I came from because where I came from was not going to power me to where I was gonna go. I had to realize what got them to where they are today is not going to be the same method that's going to get me to where I am in the future. So it's a big part of my plan and my journey, not only for myself, but to get as many people on that right path that I can. Because I believe that this source, this universe that we're all connected to, when you do good by it, it's going to do good by you. So even if I might not see the results of what I've done for somebody else immediately, I know that I'm good no matter what. I know I'm not going to get screwed over. I know when I'm at my lowest point, the universe is going to be like, it's going to look in his record book like, you did that for X, Y, and Z that one day. Here's your check. Don't worry, you good. Keep it pushing. You're going to keep it moving. That's how my mentality on it.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I'm glad you said that. So, real quick, before we go into any deep topics, I like for us to have like a general understanding of each other. So, I will ask you, Chris, you got any type of questions for the great going guy on my right side here, real quick, just so we can get some ideas out, so we can connect on a more,
Yeah,
comfortable
I
level.
guess. All right, for the going out, because again, I want if you got a book out, I'd rather y'all go get through the book. But for you, like, what got you started into this spirituality? Like, I heard you say you were talking about like when you came over to this country, you saw a different frequency. Was it that, or was it like something else that like really got you into it?
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like, not to make it a movie type shit, but I feel like it was like it had to. No, for real. There's some real shit though. I feel like, it was like, how could I explain it? Like, it had to happen, like type of feeling, like, you know what I'm saying? Like with me, like it was like what I said. It did take downfalls to get there. You know what I'm saying? But the way it happened, it was like I could put it in a movie. That's why I say, yo, I mean, I don't got a book out yet just to put it out, but it's something that really could be in the storyline up till now. Like I feel like it just keep continuing. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So, but to answer like a straight talk point is basically knowing, like what I said, what really got me into spirituality, like real spirituality and understanding self and, pursuing the knowledge of gaining self. Because a lot of us think that we know ourselves and really not even close. So is the fact that, like what I said, I came to America and, all right, so me being in Jamaica, I'm going to be point, period. Like all I seen was melanated people. I don't like to say black no more and all that. So all I see, that's all I seen. Like I seen a Chinese person probably one time and went crazy. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So imagine that transition being like 8 years old, 9 years old. And you got to understand that my mentality in Jamaica was always grown. Like I matured. I was forced to mature fast. Like, I'm young, 8 years old. That's why over here I'm surprised because I was telling my daughter that the other day, like at her age, she's 10. I was going to the store for my grandfather for liquor and cigarettes at 10 years old. So that's to show you how the mentality is. You feel me? So coming here and then flipping to while I'm going to these schools, because I ain't gonna lie, all right, I came to Brooklyn, but then how my mom and my dad was, they was always Jersey and Brooklyn. So I was always on some, in Jersey, my mom lived in little white towns and stuff like that. So when I went to these little white schools, they played a little Kunta Kinte and all that. So me, I'm like, yo, this is bullshit off the door. I'm like, oh, this has to be because no, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So, because I'm not accustomed to that. I'm not accustomed to being no slavery. I never heard of that. So that's what really, on my age of growing up, that was powerful for me to really understand, because from that, I knew that it was something about us. So that's why I said it's like a movie was destined to be. It was like, nigga, oh yeah, you're gonna go through this phase in life to wake the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what really made me. And then just studying, because I went through the whole Christianity phase, the Islamic phase, and all of that. Just, you know what I'm saying, off the door. Oh, that's not it. So I kept going, and then when I found out, so that brings me back. My story was just, I kept trying to pursue of what about our skin that make us, you know what I'm saying, that made it America so hateful towards us. And then when I found out, and that's what pursued me, that okay, it's you know what I'm saying, the glory, the spirituality in this, you know what I mean, it just woke up, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I mean, it just woke up. But It was a day too, real quick. It was a day that really got me into knowing that everything around us is spiritual. I'm not gonna lie, I broke free from the bondage of Babylon. Real talk. I told my man the story real quick. Yeah, I just paid all my everything that I owed from because I told you I've been through the down. So I mean I've been through the criminals. You know what I mean, all of that. So it was one day that I just paid everything. I just decided, listen, I'm gonna break free from Babylon. I want to everything that I owe these people, I'm paying. When I went broke that day too, I went broke. I paid everything, and then it was like all a relief. It just felt like a whole relief. Like the feeling felt crazy. Like the relief felt crazy. So I just sat down. Something just told me to go by a little lake. And when I watched the water moving, it was just moving with my heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And that just snapped me into reality. You know what I'm saying? So that's what really drove me into the whole, this is not physical. This is not physical. You know what I'm saying? We got to get something deeper into this realm.
Right. Yeah, that next level. Yep. All right, that was big. We can finally bring our third co-host in now. Sorry to pick you up, but all right, we're gonna bring our third co-host to the actual show in. Chris, can you bring him up in the show? So we can build even further with our boy Naga.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can see you. Yeah, you good.
There we go. There we go. Everybody get a round of applause to the sound god Naga. He's finally in the building. All right.
Bet. So I'm gonna build off what the going guy was saying. For me too, it's all my life, ever since I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows and things like that. But I always had a vision in my head, I was put here to do something bigger. I always felt like I was just grown compared to everybody else. Even in school, when the kids were doing games and things like that, they would play tag and sometimes when they would make fun of each other, joke around. You know what kids do sometimes. I just felt like something in my spirit was telling me, don't do that. This is not going to turn into a good outcome. The way these kids were playing with each other, sometimes they were bullying each other, things like that. My brain, my spirit, just even at 4 or 5 years old, just always told me, you got to be above this. You got to be above this. I never knew at that time what that spirit was, but I just knew to follow it. And besides that, my parents being born from the Caribbean too, I grew up in a Christian household too. There was a lot of discipline in my household. So it's I only grew up with old people and discipline. Plus my spirit was already telling me to be on some discipline, righteous path before I even knew what it was. So I got bullied hard as a kid because I wouldn't open my mouth when people were joking, cracking jokes at me, and I'm just this inspired me. I almost got into a bunch of fights. I got into a couple of fights, but more and more, I started to see my friends, some of my close friends would dog me out all the time. Every time we got into a new situation, they'd throw me under the bus, use me to crack a joke or something, to put themselves on a higher pedestal. Yeah. And I'm just at that time, it crushed me because I'm just I didn't know why I was this way. I didn't know what the universe had for me to do. I was just a regular kid going through my life trying to figure out why I couldn't make friends and things like that. It wasn't until high school when my brain started to fully develop. I'm trying to see something ain't right. I'd be in school and they'd be teaching us about the conquerors and everybody that came to this country, George Washington and things like that. I'm be yo, there were people over here first. And then people just came over, killed those people that were already here through disease, through fighting, through all of that. I'm how is nobody? I'm just I'm staring at everybody else in my class, and nobody's asking these questions. I'm why is nobody looking at the way I do? And I always wondered why I did so little about Black history, but that would be some of the most fire parts of the conversation. Everything would just be about Europe, war, killing.
Facts.
I'm just bro, this school system is bunk. Plus we learning all these subjects that got nothing to do with anything. I'm just yo, why is it like this? Why is it like this? This shit got me so
That's a fact.
I finally got to college, and it just around 2019, I finally got to college and I went through a massive depression. I know why now. We can get to it a little bit later, but I know exactly why now. But at that point in time, I just went through massive depression in college when I first got there. I'm just the energy I felt around that building and that campus. I'm just it's not right. It's just not there for me. I started to to smoke weed around that time too, and that helped me open up other parts of my brain that I've never seen before. And it's like, when I say I used to be in sync with the universe, when I say like, that's when I started seeing synchronicities and numbers, like 444, 222. Like, I started to be able to turn my head and just know where people were at certain points in time. I was just really in tune with what was going on in the moment. And the craziest thing started happening to me too, like officers, like people that you could just see, like cops just started popping up near me at random places. Sometimes I'll go to a store, my barber shop, outside my school. More and more officers were just popping up around me and things like that. I'm like, what's going on? And I had this one crazy experience when I was stoned. Keep it real. I was stoned at the time. Walking to the bus stop, and I knew it was an undercover cop too. A black man walked up in front of me, dropped his wallet on the floor on purpose, kept walking, started doing all of this shit. And then like he's like, oh my God, I dropped my shit on the floor. I just walked past him. As soon as I got to the bus to sit on a bus, a lady across the street looked at him like wilding out and be like, he didn't do nothing. I didn't say anything at the time because I couldn't even talk. I was just so chilled out, but I just knew people were after me. People were after me. People were trying to put me in the system, get me joined. People, I knew from that point in time, people were after me. And I'm just like, there's something about me in particular that I'm doing something, I'm on some path that some people don't want me to be down, that some people don't want me to walk. And it's really like, at that point, I'm just like, I had a mental breakdown because I didn't understand what was going on. I had to get out of school, and it was just the right time too, because again, that was right before coronavirus, the virus first popped off. So I'm like, I got it at the perfect time, and I just been working since then, networking with people, finding more about spirituality, finding more about nature and things like that. That's what like threw me into this path I am right here, right now.
Damn, that's deep, bro. And before we continue, shout out to everybody in the comments. S7 said, I feel that way every day, bro. He said, I feel that way every day. That's deep. Wow. Okay. What else we got? We said, I had a situation this morning that was focused on me altogether. Shit's wild how people pressure you when you get into a good path. That's a fact. Naga, you want to build on that concept? People not letting you reach your full potential? You want to build on that, Naga?
The naysayers, man. We don't got the naysayers. We only got the loving beings over here. And by the way, I like the yellow you wearing.
Facts.
I didn't know you was gonna wear that. I didn't know, but you know.
Nah, you know the vibe.
Cool with you, man.
Nah, it's Gregorian Sunday, high energy today, man. You know, gotta represent. You feel?
And all y'all who didn't go to church today, don't worry. You in your church right now. You getting your circle talk right now. Don't worry. This is your lecture.
Definitely at church today.
I just want to
say too about that. Sometimes, that's a fact. We do got like when you try to do good, and when you try to especially when you powerful. All of us in here is powerful. So when you powerful, and you know what I'm saying, and because it's time to hit God mode, real talk. So around this time, that bad energy is definitely here to attack. You know what I'm saying? It's here to attack. So it's time to be strong, focus up, and it's mind over matter. And the thing is, when you're not aware, that's when that energy really creeps. So once you're aware, like my man's right now said that he feel like he go through that every day. So right now, this should be your awareness. You know what I'm saying? So now you should adjust it, do something different. You know what I'm saying? You're aware of it. So it's time for you to switch up, do something different. Because if you're still going through it every day, it's a pattern that you got to switch up. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it's about. You feel me? And when you find, even the business I'm in, everybody that, like, I ain't gonna lie, it's the most fierce business I'm in. And everybody, even me, that try to get in it is some type of something. Like, and it'd be the weirdest thing. You'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That's just how it is, man. When you try to do good and righteous, bruh, it's always that being, that don't, you know what I'm saying? That's been lingering around, you feel me? Word up. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, so just switch up your cycle. Once you're aware of it now, bro, switch it up. That's it. Because I could tell you a bunch of stuff that I know for a fact that's it's a spiritual being attacking the shit out of me that I really gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get off of me. Like we gotta run
Yeah,
from the jungle. So, and I'm aware of it. And every time that, yeah, we go through that either that shadow work or we fight, you feel me? It always happens to like the abundance always just comes through. Oh, whoa, like you know what I'm saying? Like it was just waiting. So facts, family. Definitely you know what I mean? Just switch up the cycle, man. Once you're aware, because it's definitely real. That being is definitely here to attack, yo. Once you find it,
So,
you know what I'm saying?
so,
facts.
so what do you guys think is some things that you can share with the viewers that we can do to keep the awareness high, to keep those beings from being susceptible to us?
I love that you said that because I was about to go off what he was saying. It's cycles, and since, even though like we know that there's demons and negative entities around us, they're not always attacking us, but it's hard to really tell until it's too late. So my suggestion is just always be ready, so you don't got to get ready. You got to just be ready all the time, so you don't ever have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what I practice. So for more practical terms, just stay on your meditation. Like he said, you have to be aware of it. So if you're aware that there are entities around you that can potentially attack your spirit, you got to be ready at all times. You got to have that mentality of, I'm strong enough to fight what the world is pushing on me. You got to have that type of mentality and that spirit and that drive. It's tough because you got to have it all the
You gotta
time.
have it.
Yeah,
You
that
gotta,
one time where you go down, it could be over. So you got to
yeah,
always be on that
you gotta
frequency, on that time.
And it depends what type of frequency you're on, because it depends, like whatever frequency you're on is the way that you're gonna handle that, that being or that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that's high that could see it coming. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that's just, you feel me? So yeah, being aware, I feel like is the best. It's like the best. You know what I'm saying? The best solution to it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's just like a boxer, once you're aware that punch coming, you know how to duck it and counter punch. You feel me?
I'm
So
glad you said that because everybody got their own different defenses. I might defend against them different than Naga or Chris or you, but if we're all aware, we could do something.
yeah, it's like
We could do
karate.
something.
They hit all day.
I love you said
They
that
hit
too.
all day like this. They not nobody hitting each other because they all just sharply, spiritual, and mentally just aware. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. Bruce Lee with it, yeah.
Well, and it's like
What's up?
you gotta mentally get yourself prepared for anything that can happen to you. But if you want something that you can do, because we know spirits and entities are real, they're real. Everything that we see and we are using right now is all a frequency of vibration within the electromagnetic light spectrum. We live on this frequency, right? If we are trying to get to our higher selves, by definition, we're trying to get to an even higher frequency. Beings, divine beings that are helping us, they're vibrating so high and so fast relative to our perspective and understanding, we can't interact with them. However, if you're living on a negative frequency, you're living in a lower light spectrum. Demons, spirits, phantoms, all of these things live on a lower frequency than we can see and affect them, than we can see and operate with. And if you are buying into narratives, media, if you're just not trying to grow yourself as a person, this is what I say too. There's no such thing as a constant. This universe is always moving, always vibrating, always going around. It's either that you're growing or you're decaying. There's no actual real stability. Stability isn't necessarily real. You always got to be pushing forward. And if you're not pushing forward, by definition, you're going back. You're degrading. And these are where these spirits living. So when people talk about you can feel a force, you can feel an entity actually attacking you, it's because it's real. These are
It's
lower
real.
level like entities attacking you. And what you can do too is this: since they don't have a physical form, they have to attack you through other beings. They have to attack you through people who do not understand themselves, so they let other entities control them. You can use any drug that you want as long as you know what you're using it and for what purpose. If you're using that drug as a coping mechanism and you're letting the effect of that drug control you over yourself, a spirit, a deity, an entity can enter through you in that heightened state, whether it be alcohol, whether it be some sort of pill you take, powder, whatever the case may be, and they can enter into you while you're in that weakened state because you are relying more on that drug than you are on yourself. or you are not using that drug or that thing properly. So things you can do to ward off spirits, you can use sage. You can use all of these different these different incenses. These are natural herbs, high frequency things. Everybody, if most people don't know, there are chakras, right? Each color, we have 7 base root chakras, and whatever color that you have represents a chakra. So if you are using a green herb like marijuana, weed, that's the heart chakra. That's green. That's love. That's chill. That's kind. That's nice, peaceful energy. You know what I'm saying? If you're eating a tomato, that's root chakra. That's red. If you want to get rid of a entity or a spirit, most likely is going to live on that root chakra, because that's the lowest chakra. Is going to live on some sort of that root chakra, if not on the sacral chakra too. If you're some person who's obsessed with sex, or you're some person only obsessed with yourself and survival and money and things like that, you're going to be vibrating on those 2 lowest frequencies. So how do you combat that? You can grab some sage, grab some plants, herbs, medicine, do a prayer ritual, fill the air with frequencies of different plants and herbs like that, and clear the energy. Clear the energy out. This is why when people use sage and things like that, they can cast out demons. It's real. It's real. You're using naturally occurring things that have these different frequencies that vibrate on different and higher chakras to be able to combat, negate, and clear. But at the end of the day, the top thing you can do is, first, you need to be aware of yourself. Once you're aware of yourself 100%, then you can start using all these other things and be just fine with it.
90% of people right now, I ain't gonna lie, 90% of the world, I would say, is possessed, and they don't even know that shit.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Even your everyday people that you're walking around every day, they're, you know what I'm saying? Because like what he said, and it's just this fact. Once you're not aware of yourself, it's you got room for any entity, whether good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Honestly,
That's a fact.
whether good or bad, like. Because sometimes some people might save somebody, be like, I mean, on the reaction, don't know how. You feel me? Like, oh, how I just grabbed them real quick, and they blame it on what they say. Or, I mean, they got a physical word for it. What's it called? Like a reflex and shit like that. But sometimes might be that good entity came through real quick. You know what I'm saying? Willing to save somebody. That's how this shit really is. A lot of people understand this shit is spiritual, like, to the fact that it is what it is. Like,
that is so facts. I feel that all the time.
Yeah, that's how this world it is now. That it became, even sometimes I even get accustomed to it, that I have to snap myself, and I'm just a real individual to keep it real. I wake up, like, not even wake up, but I look, and I be like, damn, yo, this shit is like physical as hell. Like, could spiritual be real? But you know what I'm saying? Just how, like, you look around, like, damn, hit the wall, like, damn, this shit physical as hell. Like, what the but bro, this shit is no means necessary. You know what I'm saying? This is all divine, like what my man said, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? All spiritual. I'm talking about colorful rainbow. Everything's around us is colorful right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's beings right here. My ancestors right here behind me, touching my shoulders. I feel them, like, everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And before I even believed this stuff, it was like, it would be blatant to me. Like, I'll be walking down the street sometimes with my music on, my headphones. I actually wouldn't be aware of my surroundings, right? But then it would be a bike right behind me going full speed. But then something would just tell me, move to the right. And I didn't see him, hear him, or nothing. And all of a sudden, I just dodged the bike. I'm like, whoa, that thing almost hit me. What told me to move? It's a fact. I got that positive spirit just always helped me out. It's amazing.
I'm telling you, man.
It's amazing.
A lot of us, like all 3 of us, I'm gonna keep it real. It's just facts. I get confirmation because, you know, the universe speaks to you in frequency, you know, goosebumps and stuff like that. So that's how I be getting my confirmations too, when I feel that good chill. Like, I was gonna say, even 4 of us, my man's left. We here for a reason. Like, it's really like X-Men status. Like, if you feel that you're a superhero, bro, there's something that you got to check out. That's what you are. You got to check something out.
That's a fact.
Like, I'm telling you, I feel like, bro, my mind could do some wonders. Like, far as I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? I could make it happen, nigga, with my mind type of shit. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Everybody has the same powers to do the same shit. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. I wanted to be a superhero since I was like 8 years old. And now throughout my destiny, it's like I'm almost living out that dream. It's crazy how it works.
Yeah, man.
I was
And it'll
dead
come
serious
back.
about it too.
Once everybody do exactly what we're doing right now, get on that same frequency and page, and kind of get back to love harmony, bruh. X-Men. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that's all it's gonna
Avengers
take.
assemble.
Yeah, that's all it's gonna take. Is to do exactly what if everybody to do what we doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Come on that same, no arguing, no chaotic thinking, just straight vibrating high, and you know what I'm saying, getting to the applying, because it's not even getting to the issue. What issue? That's the problem. Everybody wants to get to an issue, nigga. What fucking issue, nigga? There's no issue. If there's an issue, that shit is you, nigga. Ain't no issue. The issue is at hand. Let's get back to oneness and get back to love. What we gotta do. That's it. Right now, they got us in a place where we have to get to a certain I don't like to say. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna say it. Financial place. At the end of the day, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. Because a lot of people telling me, yo, it's not about the money. The grid about to drop. What you gonna do with the money, nigga? So if the grid drop, what the fuck are you gonna do, nigga? If you don't
Exactly.
right now, what the fuck are you gonna do? You about to go live like
Exactly.
a madman and eat on your own people. The fuck is you talking about? So why not? You know what I'm saying? In this house, because I'm actually listening to a book, the book I told y'all about, and the freaking book, and the way he's explaining how to get rich is actually a book of a formula how to get rich, right? But everything that he's saying is the book is straight metaphysics, our knowledge, bro. Our knowledge, bro. And
for the people on the line, what's the book called?
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a real individual. My problem as a youth is type. I wouldn't say too much of a greed, because I am the type, like, to really, if you really need it, I give it to you. Like I always help my brothers and sisters out. So I would not say greed, but it's a thing to me that I feel like I'm great. Like I'm great, so I deserve greatness. So I always had that type of thinking, and I always try to chase the money, but chasing it in the wrong way, like selling drugs, or like, for me, I feel like I'm one of the best artists, rappers, whatever you want to say, in the world, type of vibe. But at the end of the day, that if I would have got into that at that place in my life, it would have been chaos. So okay, that's not the place for me. But so with me always thinking that, it always left a little resentment phase with me. So now I just want to get the money, which is was not the way of thinking. But honestly, metaphysics, bro, if you just understand the power of thought, you know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, you be good. Even if it's not your place to get filthy rich, bro, you're gonna be comfortable, you know what I'm saying, not stressing about no money. It's gonna come, bro. There be days I be zero broke, got bills out the ass to pay, and I just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know,
That's a fact.
Shit, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? How the hell is bread on my account like that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
It's all about manifestation, bro. In order to really get to that spiritual enlightenment, you really need time and space. And the easiest way to get time and space in this generation is to have some form of currency, you know, to be able to get to that place where nothing is bothering you. You don't got to worry about certain bills. So the currency is very important. And before we get to the next topic, for the people on the live, what was that book called?
Yo, it's actually right here. It's The Science of Getting Rich.
The Science of Getting Rich.
Yeah, I actually got it up right now. I'll write up, listening to it every day. I ain't gonna lie, I listen to it every day just so I could, you know what I'm saying, get into that keep that thought pattern.
I love that too, bro, because like for me, before I even got into spirituality, the one thing I wanted to realize is how to make that money without going through the school system. All these books, bro, just over the years, all of them are how to make money online, how to do things like that, bro.
Yeah.
I just been, for me, it's like, for me, everything you said, bro, like we even talked about this on the pre-call that we did before this live, bro. I currently am working a job right now, and I'm transitioning out of it because I'm realizing like the mentality people have towards a 9 to 5. Everybody just thinks I'm gonna work more hours to get more money. No, there are only 24 hours in the day.
That shit is
There's
bad.
only so much that you can work.
That shit detrimental.
That's facts. When you're gonna have time to sleep? When you're gonna have time to recharge? You're not a machine. And if they had a machine, they wouldn't need you in the first place.
Yeah.
This is why I'm trying to do what you said. I'm trying to get everybody to a point, including myself, where you can live comfortably. Because for some people, $1 million could be enough to live your dream life. For somebody else, that might be 120K. You don't know what somebody else wants or what they need in their life to be living right. I just want to make sure nobody's in a point in time or at a certain position where they stressing for the money. They stressing about all these things, getting them to live in a scarcity mindset. Because once you live in a scarcity mindset, you're going to start hurting people. You're going to start hurting people. You're going to start hurting people, killing people, shoot. This is the problem that we have in the urban communities right now. So many.
That cage mentality.
And it's like, it's sad too, because there's so many good kids. Like, I just remember, like, the other day, like, across the street from now, like a couple blocks away from my job, I always go to the spot to get some food. And I just saw this little, like, 7, 8-year-old kid. These two kids walk in. One of them got a mask and a hoodie over her head. He just walks in, grab a drink. I'm thinking he's going to go pay for it. He just grabs a drink. He walks out the door. I'm just like, yo, why'd you got to go and steal that? Like, I almost did chase them, but the manager came out and chased them anyways. I'm just like, damn, bro. And it was a black kid, too. And I'm just like,
God damn.
Kind of mentality that it's like, that has the rest of the world looking at it so bad. And I'm just, and all of these things are just in my head. I'm just thinking, where were the parents at? You know what I'm saying? Where were everybody guardians with these kids, bro? Like this, like, I can't. It's like when you vibrate on higher frequency, you can't see that anymore. Like you know just want the.
Yo, you know what's so funny, right? And this gonna kind of really mess your head up too, because even thinking of that, you can look at that both ways too at that kid. Because and I'm just coming from looking where I come from. Like, at the end of the day, I'm on something. Y'all can see me say I'm wrong about it. It's just me. I'm on some. I won't even look down on that kid, yo. Because at the end of the day, bruh, and like what we said, they had us all. Probably that same owner is the same. And I'm not saying I don't know where you're from or who that store owner is. But even though in Brooklyn, I'm just thinking Brooklyn. Even some places out here in Jersey, bruh. These store owners, Arabs, they look, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, these bruh, I take they shit, nigga. Now, I'm not saying every day going in the stale, but all I'm saying is, bruh, at some point we have to really check these, these communities, you know what I'm saying? These these store owners and see what they could do more. But you know what I'm saying? What they could do more. That's another topic though I'm getting into.
Yeah, it's definitely levels to it. It's levels to it for sure.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm on some stuff like, bruh, like, nah, they got it. Everybody they owe.
Yeah,
but not on no bad frequency though. So that was something we supposed to even say off the door. It was just funny, but
I understand it. Even though we're not promoting stealing, regardless, there's different levels to it when it comes to this. And like every single store owner isn't perfect. Every corporation isn't perfect, and they're not all this. They don't automatically go on this moral high ground because they're rich. And so we gotta look at every situation from multiple different perspectives. And so just the word stealing might be bad in one sense, but when you look at it from a different perspective, why is that person stealing? You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely layers to it for sure.
I've been through it, yo, where I ain't gonna lie, it's a true story. I've been through it because I was known for I ain't gonna lie, bro. I did you know what I'm saying? I've been through that. I've been through that street life, bro. I've been through that. I'm not gonna lie. If anybody say I've been through it, well, I had to hustle because my baby needed. Like, I can't get a job, nigga. I had to hustle. Sometimes I had to go to that 7-Eleven and take what I had to take. Not because, you know what I'm saying? Not because I want. I wish I had to do that, bro. It came to a point in my life sometimes. Sometime right now, there's some store owners, if I get lit, I might go back and be like, yo, here. You know what I'm saying? Here,
exactly.
This is what I took, you know what I'm saying? Right?
It wasn't out of malicious intent.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't out of that, but you know what I'm saying? And it all goes down to, and like what I said, some of them store owners, even the Indians, that's why I say, like, some Indians that we even used to do that to, I really don't regret. I wouldn't even go back and give them shit. I'll probably do it again with money because, you know what I'm saying? They don't acknowledge, yo, you gotta understand how great we are. So you understand how, I'm passionate about how great we are, bro, as a people, bro.
Now, you're right, though.
Acknowledge that, bro. If you don't, the stores that I go into, and if I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm not ignorant enough to record it because I don't want to do that because that would just ignorant. That would just be like, now you just showcasing stuff. But Like if I feel any type of energy, I'm gonna make sure you acknowledge, man. I'm gonna make sure you see an up chain. I'm gonna make sure you know what this is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, start a conversation just to let you to see where you at and just let you know like who you are. Even the Indians at my 7-Eleven, I be telling them like they be the Vita. I'd be like, bro, you know what the Vita? I tell them like, you think I don't know what the Vita represents, bro? No, that's not what it is. You feel me? So that's just another frequency though. And that goes also to getting back to us. I don't want to turn it to a negative frequency, but just understanding, being aware, like, yo, bro, like, damn, just like I say with the kid, like, yo, I don't even know if he had to steal that drink, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know. Like, what if his little brother wanted to send a drink, like, and he really had to steal that drink? So, you feel me? As four of us right now, whoever's watching, we need to really apply. And that's what I feel like, yeah, we need to start applying and really, since we're aware of the situation, how are we going to do to better the situation? So all of that could stop. You know, the stealing could stop. We could now own. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, you know, nobody should be paying for shit anyway, bro. Sodas, all that shit poison anyway. So, you know what I'm saying?
Especially not us. Especially
nah, hell no. You know what I'm saying?
The
Nah,
ones
we
who got
definitely
taken
not.
from in the first place.
Yeah, we're not
And
supposed to be paying for none of that shit.
and that's the thing too. Honestly, bro, this right here, what we just talked about, this might be a whole topic for another video too.
Facts.
It's crazy. It is.
We might have to go in on that one.
Crazy on
Yeah.
it. I gotta say
I know I
something real quick
just
though.
jumped.
Most definitely gonna go crazy on it. And it's like
I gotta say something real quick
just
though.
yeah.
So what I was gonna say about before we change up, what he was saying makes a lot of sense though, because when you get back to the root of the question, it's like, well, yeah, you're the person is stealing, but the person belongs to a race of people that got stolen from as a whole. You know, like even the landmass that the kid is on is his landmass, but the invader has settled in that landmass and made it seem to the kid that it's that invader's landmass when really that kid's family's lineage's landmass, and he's stealing from something that's been stolen from him. When you think about that, it's really just a paradox. And it's like they got us comfortable in this whole stolen legacy thing we right now.
Chaos.
And
Oh,
it's like,
damn.
because I keep it a buck. I keep it a buck with everything I say too. I try to keep it as real too as I can. For me, I grew up in Queens, and when I grew up, Queens was the most diverse place on the planet. I think it's the second or third most diverse place on the planet right now. So I grew up near everyone. Like I can walk down the block on my own street right now. 2 blocks, Indian, another 2 blocks, a little bit of white people, Spanish on my block, black on another block, go back to Spanish,
Right,
Indian.
right.
But it's everywhere, everywhere. And it's like I'm gonna keep it above. Y'all are 100% right. When I got to school, when I got to middle school, when I first started getting bullied, it was Spanish kids, Indian kids. The Indian kids is the worst. I'm keeping the buck. Just if you got any race in here, things like that, let me finish my point. It was I'm gonna keep it a buck. But there were black kids too. Everybody, and it's like for me, I've gotten to a point where I've started to not necessarily look at the physical vessel. Like it matters too. It matters too, and it does affect you. But I'm just like I look at the integrity of the person. I look on that person based on their merit. What are you saying? What do you say? Your actions line up with what you say, and are you truly living for what you talking about? For me, because everybody had a messed up life in some way, shape, or form. Everybody got their own problems, but I'm not gonna. For me too, it's like I know a lot of good people of my race, and I know a lot of bad people in my race. I know a ton of bad people in a lot of race in another race, but I know a couple of good people in there too. For me, what do I feel and what do I believe based on what I know about this oneness and experience? We are all one. Even though for a fact there is evil and there is good. There's positive and there's negative. There's duality in this reality. Right? For me is this. If you really moving with the divine, if you really trying to get back to the source and consciousness, you're gonna find those people regardless. And they may look like you, they may not. They may look like you and they may not. Because here's how I think. I've always thought like this since I was a kid. You got to put yourself in the other person's perspective. Let's say, for example, I had the same personality that I did, right? And I was the same way connected that I am right now. But I was born, for example, a white person. I'd still bat as hard as I can every day for black people because I know the truth. I know what's going on. I know what's going on too. But it's like now I got to be fighting my own race for obvious reasons, and now I got to be trying to live up and appease other black people for obvious reasons. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to, because the universe could have put me in that reality, giving me consciousness from that point of view versus this one right now. So I
That's
never
deep.
want to look down or let
Well,
other
reincarnation is
things
genetic, so
hold me back. Hold me back. Nah, no, trust me. We can trust me. I got you on that. We can talk about that after the call. But it's like I could have been a tree. My frequency could have came back as a tree. My frequency could have came back as an animal like a snake, like a cobra, like an Egyptian cobra. My frequency could have came. I came back in this frequency as this form. So the bare minimum I have for every creature is respect. As soon as you disrespect me or you do something that is against divine, no matter what race you from, no matter how your origins came about, I ain't with you no more. But if you here for respect, you taking care of everybody, you loving, you doing what you do is right, I got a place for you, and you got a place to be with me. That's my two. That's always been my 2 cents about it.
That's powerful.
No, that's cool. That's definitely dope, bro. And that's righteousness, to be honest with you, because in this time, and I definitely got a little something to say on that real fast. In this time, that's definitely fire. That's well needed. And others why I have a little more compassion for our people because like the whole X-Men theory that everybody talk about, we is those that's gonna really we the saviors of this world. You know what I'm saying? We are. So and then I understand why a lot of people, I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna keep it real on this point, that why we placed in certain positions that we're placed in, you know what I'm saying? Why, you know what I'm saying? I understand the deep reason why. And it's just the reason why is because whoever, like, you know, like the other live we saw, my man was like, who is them? Who is them? But I'm gonna say whoever
Right.
they would say who they is, or the elites or whoever, or the powers that be, I know exactly what's going on. But for whoever is tuning in, you know what I'm saying, whoever you might think the elites is, like, you know what I'm saying, they definitely don't want that X-Men thing to happen. They don't want this world to get, as you can see, look around, why you think? But it's gonna happen regardless of what. But the process could be, you know what I'm saying, it could be
Slow
faster,
down.
bro.
Yeah,
It could be faster.
they
If
slow it
everybody
down. That's a
really
fact.
understand that it don't matter. The crackhead on the block, that same little kid still got this. They got ancestor soul. We is the ones. It's just there's no. It's crazy, like, cause that's a whole nother topic that, you know what I'm saying. But we is the ones, and I feel like, yeah, bro, once we all get into that frequency and understand that, yeah, it's gonna be all sewn up, that love frequency. So that's why I have a little bit, you know what I'm saying, of like, you know what I'm saying, of my people, like, so I have compassion of that little boy stealing sometimes. I'm gonna look at the owner like, nah, you know what I mean? Now, if you come in there with guns or both of y'all want to beat up the owner or some crazy stuff, yeah, but, you know what I'm saying? But, but it's all frequency, though, because, like what I said, what you saying is exactly right. It's a fact. It is, especially around this time. You can't look at everybody. Like, I can't just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just going to let somebody black because he's black smack me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are, you know what I mean? At the end of the day. But, yeah, so it's all frequencies at the end of the day. It's just like, and that's why we all here together. It's like that right there. Once we stay on this frequency, none of that shit even matters no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? None of that. Because right now we're on this plane where we have something to accomplish now. You feel me? All of that don't even matter. We're not even supposed to be talking about that no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? We got to get on this. We got to apply. You feel me? It's how to apply. But it's definitely good to have that top conversation, because that will definitely spark the people in that frequency to understand who they are now. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to kind of dibble-dabble in that topic. You feel me?
That's deep, and I want to build on that in another perspective in a way. When it comes to like us spiritual people who are on this certain plane of existence and dimension, I feel like personally, most people don't agree, but I feel like we have a duty to understand the people who aren't on our level. I feel like we have to be able to understand someone who isn't on that path, who is just lost, who is quote unquote on that demonic frequency. We got to be able to look at them and not automatically judge them and be able to give them a chance, because we have to understand that we weren't all here. We weren't all where we were now. It's the process. So when you respect and you look at the process of someone going from A to B, and you can recognize and resonate with that, that means anything is possible. That means even now, as smart and as powerful as we are, there's a small potential that we could just go the other way. I could become the villain. And so because that possibility is possible, it's the same for the other side. Someone who's literally on the bottom, there's still a 1% chance they can come out on top and be where we're at. So realizing that, when I look at people like rappers who are just so demonic, especially our people who are just pushing all this hate, we still, even then, still have to give them a chance. We can't just throw them in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? We still got to give them that chance and that possibility to really, you know what I'm saying, come to that next level. So it's so much compassion that we have to do that, but I think it's our duty to do it. We got to look at them and be like, you know what? It's not impossible. We can help.
Correct.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. And just to let y'all know, I got 15 minutes. So yeah, I'm just letting you know.
Cool.
All right. Well, one thing I want to talk about is the mentality of us, right? Because everything you guys are saying, it directly ties into something, right? So rethinking, right? Because we have to think that we can provide for ourselves, the provide for yourself mentality. I see a lot of these like spiritual jokes saying, oh, people who are spiritual and don't, or let's say you're spiritual and you're making that shift, right? For example, going guy, technically he don't have a job. He does something else, forex, right? That's not technically a job. That's technically unemployed, and you're employing yourself technically. So I feel like that mindset of people need to get jobs. That's a slave mindset. You have to provide for yourself or find a way that isn't limiting or giving out so much identification an hour or $15 an hour wage. You know, it's not a common ground. It's not, you know, like just think about that. Like they're giving you $13 an hour and you give them social home address, full name, date of birth, everything about yourself. It's not a fair trade. With that being said, we have to rethink that we can look to our brother and sister with love, not hate. And our people need land, commercial real estate, etc. We don't have communities, we have neighborhoods. So be productive, pull our resources together, put differences aside, and come together as one. For example, Detroit, right? Look at Detroit, bro. It's like, or any place like that. It's like places like that is like 90% black people. But you look at like the gas stations. 168 out of 164 of those gas stations are owned by Arabs. So that's an all black community. But 164 out of 168 is owned by non-black people. So we have to push these push these people out of our community and take back what's yours. Either buy the land from them, either negotiate, whatever you want to do or try to do. Try it at least just try it. You know, but the part about us coming together is important. You know, put differences aside and say, hey, let's build as a family unit, or at least you know, kind of like this, a common ground through friends. You know, through friendship.
Yeah. Damn.
But that needs to happen.
And I love that he brought that too, because that's the whole point of Together We Build. That's the whole point of getting us together. We need to get that land. We need to buy and have communities.
We need
That is facts.
We shouldn't just have, like, again, this is our world. And I'm not going to just necessarily say just the melanated world. I'm going to say, for righteous people who live in and acting with the divine, this is our world. We should have a headquarters here in New York, Jersey, Texas, Connecticut, Florida, Costa Rica, Africa. We should have places all over the world of people that are building and having this nation. And it's like, it starts with us first finding ourselves, and then we're going back. Yo, what's good, Lieutenant General Lau? It starts with us building together. It starts with us building together and just realizing that if I found myself, and it's like this. There's this other mentality going around in the black community, mostly. What I got like 8 minutes left. I'll make it quick.
Hey,
It's this. We got to do it for ourselves. Everybody has to be top dog. Everybody has to be, I'm gonna get it for myself, myself, do this for myself, I'm gonna be best dog for myself. This mindset that's been pushed along, this subconscious mindset that we have to do it alone. We got to get to the top alone. We got to do it all ourselves. There's not a sense of community building and teamwork. Just like Naga said, we can't have all these different hoods of people when somebody like I could be like let's say you have a family. One kid could go into construction. The other kid could going into blueprints and architecture. The other kid could go into getting trucks and cement. All of these people, we could all work together and literally build something from the ground up. If we all started pulling the money together, even if you're still working a job, we can all work a job for a year, save 10K, around 50, 100 people. That's like what? That's like $1 million right there. We all buy a gigantic plot of land. We have this group of people working on building the houses. This group of people working on building the infrastructure for the cell towers. We have our own connection, internet, things like that. You can build an entire nation by ourselves. We've been put into this mentality that we have to buy land that somebody else already owns or fight. Because let's be honest here. As much as I would love for us to pick up our guns and just get rid of them, you know what I'm saying? Off the bat, we're not united enough to do that. But we can get and pool our money together, buy our own land in multiple parts of the world, build our own houses, get our own sewer systems, and just do it ourselves. We don't have to stay here if we don't want to. We can literally, we don't have to buy anything from them. We don't have to buy anything from them. We just get in here and do it. We can just do it. That's what I feel like I'm gonna do, because I believe in 2030 New World Order plan. I feel that with the way the world is going right now, they pushing us to that point. And before we get to that point, I'm for a fact going to be in a nation. I'm for a fact going to be with a group of people. I'm for a fact going to be with a divine group of people that got protection, got land, got family structures, get everything, all of that sent down. I don't care if it takes me the rest of these 9 years and I got to do it on my own back. It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
That's a fact.
That's just me.
I'm glad he touched on that. I'm glad on both of them touched on that, because this is a really big topic. We might have to make a whole other video for it, but just a quick brief of what they were basically saying for the people who didn't get it is we have to establish true independence to where we don't have to rely on what they have to succeed. And once we get that down pat, we have to go to the next stage, because I know everybody in the comments wants to know, okay, we're talking about the problems, but what are the solutions, right? The solution is we find true independence, then we go into true black economics. That's the goal, to truly build. So we need to be able to replace all the systems that this system operates off of now with what we have. So it's not really bad to copy what they have, because they copied it from us. So we just need to get back where we are. So we need our own hospitals. We need our own banks, you know what I'm saying? We need our own schools, our own media. We need our own grocery stores and our own housing. So these are the answers and the solutions that we actually have to do. And this is what T.W.B is all about. And what we're all trying to do is build and not take back in a way, but we're really just making something completely new, because they can't really do what we could do. But that's the goal.
Armies. No, we need our own armies
to protect what we build. Facts to protect. Yes, that's a fact. But like I said, we gonna be building on this further for black economics, and
this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It's not to be taken for no advice, no legal advice, no personal advice. It's for informational, educational purposes only. Period.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. We're all about peace over here. We're not about no negative nothing. That's what we're about. But we are about thinking past yourself. That's what we are about. We are about thinking at length level, asking certain questions. But yeah, for sure. This is episode 3 of T.W.B podcast. I know my host Chris got to go. Yeah. That was amazing. Chris, you want to end it off?
Yeah, this was powerful. Powerful. Yeah, anybody else want any final words before I give my final words?
Nah, man. I mean, this was great. I just like chopping it up with y'all brothers, and we need to do more, man. I'm with it. Let's go.
I want to give a big thanks to you, Going God, for being on here.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, man. Nah, thank y'all, man. For real.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna see if we can get Going God on some other lives too. Especially we're gonna build on these topics too. Especially I want to come back to these topics, especially when it comes to other races in the community and things like that. We gotta build more on these topics. But this has been Together We Build. I'm the Jedi Chris. Been here with Clarkson, Naga, the Going God. We're gonna catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.